Hi, I'm Jeremy Reeves of Cornell and Deal, and you're watching the Fokker Circus.
Welcome to the Fokker Circus. Yep, this is my first episode. I'm launching a new YouTube channel, and I figured, I have another one called No Enemies Here, and it features war board games. Yeah, board games that feature war, like something like this. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me introduce myself. My name is Dan Pancaldo. You could call me Duke or Duce. I prefer Duce because I'm a Canadian from Italian origins, and I'm more Italian, as you can tell. Now you're probably wondering, why the Fokker Circus? Well, I really thought about it, and then I had a eureka moment. Why not? Okay. So what am I planning on doing with this channel? Well, I'm planning on scouting the interweb with all the news, meaning people who put up blogs or vlogs and they talk about, a certain review of a certain tobacco. Well, I'm going to look it out, put it up on this channel and tell you that, hey, Bradley from Stuff and Things is doing this week. And on Smoking Pipes, they're discussing this. So you know what? This is your one-stop shopping center for checking out pipe news, man, or tobacco news, or anything news that tickles my fancy and maybe tickles your fancy. Well, nothing tickles my fancy these days, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. And you're gonna notice also that I'm hyperactive. Yes, I have a superpower, and it's called ADD. It serves me well when the time comes. But a lot of that time ain't coming, and it ain't coming fast. Anyway, so, look, I hope you enjoy this channel. You're gonna get to know me. I'm a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? We come from a long line of jesters, believe it or not. My dad is from Tuscany. And, we go way back, and, we were jesters, so I figured I'd carry on the tradition, And usually I don't stutter, but I'm stuttering now. So, this is your news. I'm going to have some special features sometimes. I want to interview people. Right now I just put my feelers out, and I've put my feelers out to Sabina Santos, the amazing artistic lady of pipe. I mean, seriously. And also Eldritch Pipe, that guy, amazing. So you're probably wondering, this is way crazy fly out pipe stuff. No, not really, man. I'm holding my Peterson right now. See this one right here, and I want to smoke some Royal Twist, man. McBaron Royal Twist. Thing is that I can't smoke in the house, so I could smoke in a garage, but it's minus 25 here. That's Canadian, minus 25 Celsius. That's like minus 1,000 American. And it's the opposite of the currency exchange, you know what I'm saying? we win on this one. Or actually, yeah, we win on this one and we lose on the exchange. But anyways, so I built myself a little shed inside the garage, because my garage is, it's not, what do you call it? Not paneled, insulated, that is, paneled. And I got a little heater in there, but because I built it, as we say in Quebecois, because I do live in Quebec, broche à foin. Well, half-assed, that is. A lot of air comes in, and I freeze. So, you got to know me a little bit. Give me your comments below. Please keep it nice. And let's go on with the show. On Mike Rondeau's channel, here in Quebec, he would be known as Michel Rondeau. But anyways, on Mike Rondeau's channel, the last pipe of 2021. Also reviews, Sam's Flake by Samuel Gawith and Full Virginia Flake by Samuel Gawith, which is a fantastic tobacco in my opinion. Also talks about existential depression. Another video, he had to get crafty. That's a 16-second video. And reviews Old Ironside. Old Carolina Pipe Cottage. I love this guy. He's nice and quiet, and it's like from the old times. Anyways, on Old Carolina Pipe Cottage, 6 videos, keep it simple, and recommendation on his pipe tobacco for English blends. Also a video on Peterson pipes and why they matter. Same as Savinelli pipes and why they matter. That is another video. And a Pipe Cottage Christmas and pipe smoking, an unwritten code of behavior. The Hobbiton Piper's got 6 videos this month. How to sell her pipe tobacco, parts 1 and 2. That's his opinion. And a review of Peterson's early morning pipe, formerly of Dunhill, and McQueen Ranger Briar with Brown ... a pipe story. And he gives us his opinions on his favorite pipe lighters and how to use them. And he sits down to have a smoke and chat with Smoke with me. What is HU tobacco and should you ... On Briar Blues, Perception and Reality, a philosophical statement by Briar Blues. Also, Sunday night with Briar Blues, and another video, a reminder, no Briar Blues, I should say, live instead. Also, Sunday night with Briar Blues, and virtual reality to Glum Chum Piper, and pipe and tobacco chat with Briar Blues. The Gentleman of the Pipe on Pipe and Chat. Taste buds are DED, Dead from Booknick. This month on 2 a.m.'s Pipe on the Patio, Smoking Exhausted Rooster in the Barry Valhalla with Zippo Die. Well, I think it's a Zippo lighter. Anyways, he also gives a shout out, One Man and His Pipe, and the LCS Bam Bang pipe has arrived. Smoking the LCS Bam Bang and a gift from What's Up. Also, getting ready for Snowmageddon, a package. Buddy, let me tell you, I'm in Montreal. I'll tell you what Snowmageddon is. And lastly, Pipe in the Snow. The Paladin Piper, 6 videos. His feeble attempt at supporting a YTPC brother. Also a triple threat Yabo or YABO. I'm truly humbled. And he reviews the Dr. Pearl 6mm filter. Also, how he blends his everyday pipe blend. Better late than never, 3 Blind Moose reviews. And the last video, Fireside First Impressions, Frogtown. Old Hollywood Briar gets a look at Boswell's Northwoods, the Gulag Archipelago, and Christmas on the Venice canals. Once Upon a Pipe ponders his 4 best things of 2021, and he gives us a video on Central Kentucky Snowstorm 2022. The Spurgeon Piper, 4 videos out. He has a live stream, talks about his top 5 tobacco blends of 2021. Also, operating a shop with Old Carolina pipe guy with that wonderful drawl. I forget his name, but you know who I'm talking about. And Pipe Smoking 101, how to pack your pipe from a crumble type tobacco, and tobacco review of Back Down South. I love that tobacco. I smoke it regularly. On the Omega Forever, he's wishing the YouTube pipe community a blessed New Year. Also talks about Sutliff's private stock. He calls it man's best friend. Happy New Year from the Pipe Nook, and thoughts on getting older. Happy belated birthday. Thoughts on getting older. Look, I'm stuttering. I'm getting older. The Bearded Welshman is in Boswell's meetup on Happy New Year. I should say, on New Year. Steph and Skip Kane talk about their winter break and Christmas week chat. Hey, you know what? I just got back from the post office, and I'll show you the stash I just got, alright? So, first things first, unbelievable. This is the Wessex Curly Block, right? I mean, I want to, you know what? I'm going to take that out of the bag. I'm taking that out of the bag. I'm taking that out of the bag. I'm going to vacuum seal it anyways. Let's see what it smells like, huh? Oh, man. So, this is it, man. This is what it is. That's the Wessex Curly Block. I'm telling you, it's hefty, solid, real tight. Oh, it's got a beautiful aroma. Kind of feel like lighting like a big cigar, eh? So this was about $100, and it's sold out now. So you know what? Yeah, $100, a lot of cash, but I'm glad I went for it. So that's the Wessex Curly Block. I'm gonna have to try a bowl of that. But I just poured myself a bowl of McBaron Royal Twist. That's what I just did. Also, let's see. Okay, I got some C&D Triple Play. This is red and bright Virginias. Hold on. I'll tell you what it says here. Triple Play ripe red and bright flue-cured tobaccos are joined by Pecan Acadian Perique. I like Acadian Perique. It's milder. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the, as they say here, the piquant, which means the spiciness. And a balanced measure of smoky, dark-fired Kentucky. Man, I love dark-fired Kentucky. So, I got 2 tins of that. Right? I got 2 tins of Canal Boat. I really like this, you know, when I just want to have a chill, burly smoke. But burly with I mean, Jeremy Reeves really did a nice job on this one here. Canal Boat. And it's, I don't want to say smoky, but it's nutty, full, and rich. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it especially with a light single malt. You know what I'm saying? Also, I got 2 tins of Flake Medallions by Davidoff. I love these. And aged them a little bit. And it gets really nice. I don't know if this is the one that has a little bit of nutmegish flavor to it, or is it the oh no, it's the Savinelli doblone d'oro, the gold doubloon, a bit of nutmeg in it, very nice, and a bit of cloves, you know. And also, I'm a Wessex fan. I just like their stuff, right? I got some Golden Slice, 2 tins of that. Never tried it. This is, I'm assuming it's Virginia, and that's another thing, eh? I used to be a Latakia guy. Yeah. Very oriental, very smoky and rich, very English, you know? And then, just lately, I don't know, I said, let me smoke. I forget what it was. Let me try a Virginia, you know, give it a shot. Just straight Virginia. And man, I liked it. The flavors were delicate, for me. Very citrusy, which I like, very tart, you know? Just like the people I date, tart. I'm joking, I'm married, I'm joking. She knows I'm joking anyways. But nevertheless, yeah, very bready. And then you get into like mixed Virginias with some darker Virginias, some Kentucky in there, you know, some red Virginias. And you mix it in with the Perique, obviously. And yeah, the Vapors, that's what I'm talking about. After I tried Virginia, I tried the Vapors. And man, I'm a big fan. You know, they say you should smoke heavier tobacco in the winter and lighter tobacco in the summer. Well, I always like to break the rules and go cross grain. I'm the type of guy. Look, I'm a musician, a professional musician. Been in the biz for 30 years. I'm classically trained. And the first thing they tell you is that you gotta break the rules. First, you gotta know the rules, though. So you gotta have to have a strong fundamental. Just like in tobacco. You have to have a strong fundamental of the basics. Right? You know, I'm trying to get Jeremy Reeves to interview, and I'm gonna talk to him about stuff like that. Because there's a crossover between being an artist in music and being an artist as a sommelier. Sommelier meaning the taster, the noser, the guy who creates blends. And Jeremy Reeves is a master blender. GLPs, for God's sake, this guy's incredible. And I mean, the guys from McBaron and all that. Look, all these guys are incredible. So that was my weekly bounty, and that's it, man. Portland Pipe Smoker talks about Sutliff tobacco while we see an Irish whiskey on the table. En pipe et tabac, la chaîne du plaisir, deux fumeurs, la pipe. That's French for Pipes and Tobacco, the YouTube channel for the pipe smoker enthusiast. He's got 6 videos out. One, he talks about that he's testing out Alsbo Silver, and he's reviewing Samuel Gowett's Commonwealth. Also, Borkham Riffs. I don't know which one it is, but it's the red cherry one. It must be. Alsbo Ruby also. And I've never seen this. Oh, 3 Nuns. I've never seen that 3 Nuns. Must be a European 3 Nuns. That is a French 3 Nuns. And Fumer la Pipe. Test de tabac. So he's checking out a pipe tobacco called Adventure. Old Berg looks at... I'm not very good. Oh, OMS pipe. Sorry, I was going to say I'm not very good. I thought it was all like LOL, FMLG, whatever. But it's not. It's OMS. And OMS Pipes and Old Berg at the YouTube Pipe Community. A Christmas. Also, a giveaway, Nightfire. I got 6 videos for you from the Mutton Chop Piper. He hasn't been around in a long time, but 3 weeks ago, he gave us a video. And one of his first videos is Pipe Review, Job Pipe, Butt of Steel. Also, he takes a look at the Ohio Renaissance Festival. Goes to Boswell's Pipes and Cigars. Also, is cellaring pipe tobacco, I should say, really worth the trouble? Well, I think so. And Blend Club 2022. And is cellaring pipe tobacco really worth the trouble? Part 2! On Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club Tobacco Advent, Day 20 to Day 25. J Mouton Pipes gives us a hello, that's all. J. Allen Pipes has many videos on how to create and work with wood to create a pipe, that is. So changes in the pipe world, and a journey of a pipe collector, and talking pipes, and making a freehand pipe making from start to finish. Holy smokin' pipe padre gives us 3 videos. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and he's got some thoughts on January 2022. Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker of Pipes and Men, a new book for pipe smokers, because our interests vary quite a bit. For all you goblins out there, Chris of Eldritch Pipes, 6 videos. One being the 4 Horsemen. This is a thank you gift to Token Tommy. I seen those pipes, gorgeous. And listen with Eldritch on the Magnus Archives. I can't speak anymore. And his top 10 pipes of 2021, and 2 other videos on that week's pipes, and a continuation of the Magnus Archives. Cobbett of the Shire gives us his thoughts on a perfect smoke and some channel updates. And Cass Piper Cassidy talks about Savinelli's Brunello Flake. This is a review. I love that tobacco. Also, new Uner Mersham. And another video called Just a Catch Up, New Tobacco, New Pipe. And 2 other videos, one saying they don't care, and the other one saying where you been? And another video, Black Mersham. All this on Cass Piper Cassidy. Aromatics talks about late night cigar rolling, and late night cigar rollings for Christina, I should say, and Germain's special La Taquilla Flake. Cigar with Virginia filler, that's on another video, and comparing all regions of Nicaragua Legerios, and Lane's HGL review. The New Unicorn Piper offers us 6 videos, Advent Calendar Days 20 to 24, plus his top blends for 2021. And a haberdasher of the pipe world, Stuff and Things, Bradley. Merry Christmas from Stuff and Things, a short video by Bradley. Also, the Sunday Stuff and Things, and Winter Hummingbird Rescue. Hey, look, us pipe smokers, you know, we get into that stuff. Also, another Sunday Stuff and Things, and a review of the Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Special, and Stuff and Things, another Sunday review. On SmokingPipes.com, all pipes considered, Glenn Whalen from Peterson Pipes, and Former, a SmokingPipes.com look at Former from Denmark. Also Alexander Hasty, and Briar to Binder, Stillwell Star Navy, number 1056, and Chris Asteriou. Also Becker. All this on Smoking Pipes. the easygoing smoking cardboard, piping 101. One of the videos is, what do you need to get started? Also, packing your bowl, cleaning your pipe, lighting and smoking your pipe, and frequently asked questions. 3 videos on shallow pockets, pipe smoking, codger blends and rubber bits, and tobacco review of Capstan Blue, the ready rubbed one. And into the rabbit hole, codger blend review episode number 1 on shallow pockets. Also check out some Scotch on the Scotch That's Dummies with Scott and Bart Brunsheen the Chief, a quick hitter Scott Stories finale, and the Macallan, the Harmony Collection Rich Cacao, or cocoa I should say, but it's cacao, and Glenmorangie, A Tale of Winter Limited Edition, and Glenallachie, 12-year port wood finish Scotch. Man, that would go with some nice tobacco. I would say a nice red Virginia. Aye. Glenallachie, 2010 single cask Virgin Oak. Well, Virgin Oak, virgin tobacco. And Roland, the Zen Dragon, I should say. Very smooth, this guy. Pipe smokers, do you have a jewel in your pipe collection? On Pipe and Towback, a GAW package from Jean Panzer. On Paul Schalbetter's channel, Happy New Year Nasal Snuff Review, Frankfurter. Also, Fumadores de Pipa, Fumenos Una 6 Enero 2022, I'm saying? Pipe Tobacco Review, Cornell and Deal's Star of the East, aka something else, and Pinch Witcha Squinty, errata and questions and answers. Also talking about Cornell and Deal, check out the interview I have with Jeremy Reeves. Lots of interesting stuff said. Well, here's my first impression of the Wessex Curly Block. For 9 ounces, it was approximately $90, $10 an ounce, and some stores sold it for $100, but whatever. And I think I was wrong in a previous segment. I said it's sold out. It's not sold out. You can still get it. So I'm gonna say, is it worth $90? Because that's double the price of what you could get. Well, you're not gonna get the Wessex Curly Block, right? So it's a novelty in itself, but it's double the price of most tobaccos. Is it worth it? Look, in my opinion, first impression, if you got the money, sure, go for it. If you don't have the money, don't worry about it. But it's still a great tobacco. Man, you get that bready, nutty smell, you know. I cut it in a couple of pieces like this. I mean, this is pretty huge. I'm going to age the other 2 pieces. I cut it in 3 pieces. I'm going to age the other 2 pieces, and we're going to come back to it in a couple of years, you know. But the Perique, the Acadian Perique, it's very nice. Subtle, but very nice. Burley is very nice, very smooth. And you get some nice citrusy shots from the Virginias that are in here. If I'm not mistaken, there's some Kentucky in here. But it's a very nice tobacco. I like Wessex very much. Great company. I enjoy their campaign. It's a Brigadier series, the Wessex. Anyways, it's a soldier type things, and I like the campaign one. Really, really nice. So, that's my first impression. I did smoke it yesterday. Very smooth. Near mid-bowl, I tried to see if I can get more flavors from it. It stayed pretty, I'm not going to say one-dimensional because there are different flavors, but it didn't change much. It actually, I kind of lost some flavors mid-bowl to the end of the bowl. But as I said, my opinion, first impression, you might love it, and that's it. And I put it in a little mason jar like this with, nice, fun, cute label. And right now, I'm off to smoke a GLP's triple play with it just smells incredibly yummy. And here we got Jeremy Reeves, the master alchemist of Cornell and Deal. How's it going, Jeremy?
Very, very good. How are you, Dan?
Pretty good. Thank you very much for doing this, man. I thanked you behind the camera, and now I want to thank you in front of the camera. And you're a sweet guy, man. I mean, regardless of your Hell's Angels look, don't worry about it. But we were just discussing C&D. You said it's your 30th anniversary coming up right now.
Yeah, this year is our 30th year. We were founded in 1992 in Morganton, North Carolina, by Craig and Patty Tarler. Craig passed away in 2012, and in 2013, the surviving Tarler family approached Sykes Wilford, the president of Smoking Pipes.
Right.
And said, our families have been friends for many years, and I think you have a vision for Cornell and Deal that is in line with ours, and we want Cornell and Deal to be able to continue, but without Craig, it can't happen.
It's a tough deal. Okay.
Yeah. And so in 2012, talks began. In 2013, talks began in earnest. And in 2014, January 1st, 2014, the official merger of Cornell and Deal into Smoking Pipe's parent company, Law DC Enterprises, was an asset.
Okay. So that's where all my money goes first before getting to you. It goes to Law DC. Okay. So Law DC, Smoking Pipes, and Cornell and Deal, it's one big family?
That's right. Also Law DC Distribution Group, which has sole distribution rights in the U.S. for Savinelli pipes, for Cornell and Deal products, for Gawith and Hogarth in the U.S., for Zippo,
Okay.
Briarworks tobaccos, and a number of other things, and then also Peterson Pipe Factory in Dublin.
So I guess why everybody's connected with Law DC is because they have a network and a good foundation to distribute and stuff like that, right?
That's right. So it started out just being basically smoking pipes, and then Law DC was the parent company that was just smoking pipes, and Low Country Pipe and Cigar, which is our brick and mortar retail store.
Okay.
Up the street from us.
Okay.
So then they started adding to the corporation, starting with Law DC Distribution Group, then Cornell and Deal, and then Peterson.
So that name Law DC, I'm very interested in nationalities and all that. You know, what nationality is Law DC? Like
it's Italian. The word is Italian. It's a name. It is a name. It is the name of a character in a play. And Sykes could tell you the story. I cannot remember the name of the play or what the story is all about. But yeah, Law DC is just the name of.
It's Italian, eh? No wonder they got everybody going, man. But hey, I never said anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm Italian myself, so I can joke around. And actually, I'm from Quebec, Montreal.
Uh-huh.
So it's like -20 here, and it's frigid. Like when you walk out and you take your first breath,
yes,
all the mucus in your nose crinkles up.
Yep.
And you're from?
Originally from New Mexico.
Okay.
But I have lived in Denver. I've lived in Chicago. I've lived in Portland, Oregon. I've lived in New York, Pennsylvania, and I've lived in Cleveland, Tennessee. So I've been around, and most of those places also have their fair share of frigid cold.
Okay, so you know it then, eh?
I do. South Carolina doesn't. Like right now, it's I think it's in the mid 40s.
That's nice and cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool. But it's not, it's not like the kind of weather that you're talking about.
And it's not even that bad, believe it or not. But anyways,
Oh, yeah, no, -20 is pretty severe for like -20. People's minds would be exploding here.
Absolutely. I remember once there was, I think, a snowfall, and I think it was in North Carolina, and like 30 people died.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a wispy snowfall, and I just thought, man, what do you mean 30 people died? This is like we go swimming when it's like this. But it's because you guys, or when I say you guys, the North Carolinians are not used to driving on that slippery
road,
man.
That's right. It depends on where in the state you are a little bit. Like, the more mountainous regions of South Carolina and North Carolina can expect snow and ice and kind of have some infrastructure. But we're located basically right on the beach.
So there's no happening there, man.
Exactly. No, the expectation for snow here is maybe once every 3 to 5 years. And actually, we're due for a freezing rain tomorrow.
Really?
Which is going to be really great because, it's supposed to rain for the first half of the day and then freeze and then start snowing on top of it. So
now in South Carolina, they do grow tobacco. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what happens now? It's going to freeze over, man. It's going to ruin the crops.
Well, no, there's no tobacco in the fields now.
Okay.
Yeah, the tobacco gets planted usually in April or May,
Okay.
and is typically harvested by the middle to end of August or into September a little bit.
Okay, so it's not an on year going thing. Once you cut it down, you replant and let's go.
No, so
Doesn't work that way, huh?
you've got different fields all around that are owned by farmers, and typically they're planting tobacco one year, and then after tobacco they'll plant cotton or they'll plant peanuts, or and then they'll plant potatoes or something like that in that area. And so they've got fields that they're basically moving their tobacco crop around.
Right.
They're rotating in.
Yeah, you got to do that as a farmer. Yeah,
that's right.
Now, do they plant corn? And there's a reason why I'm asking this.
Yes, there's definitely corn grown.
Okay, am I wrong, Jeremy, to say that sometimes in the blends, depending where I'm smoking in the bowl, and I'll breathe through my nose, and I'll get that little corn smell, that little sweet corn smell. Could it be, man, that it has an effect because of the soil?
I doubt it. I think that when you're smoking a blend of tobacco, you're burning so many different kinds of compounds and things that are contributing to what you experience as aroma and flavor.
Right.
And those things are similar kinds of compounds that you find in lots of different vegetables and plants.
Right.
So I think that's why, when we're smoking, we pick up on characteristic tastes that are like, oh, that's kind of like molasses, or this is kind of like, like roasted corn, or this is kind of like, I sometimes taste like roasted peanut shells, particularly in a stove red Virginia. But rather than peanut,
some stores sold it for
crops having flavored the soil somehow.
You don't think so?
Or corn crops having flavored the soil somehow. So, those plants are pulling things out of the soil
I'm gonna
much more so than contributing something to the soil.
Okay, right.
Because that's double the price of what you can get.
Now, maybe if you had tobacco that was being grown right up on a corn crop, maybe that could be
but it's double the price
possible
of most tobaccos.
Effect. But
is it worth it?
I'm skeptical.
Look, in my opinion,
but they don't use the corn cuttings. Once they've taken out all the corn, don't they remulch it in the ground?
Don't worry about it.
I
don't know how.
I don't know how.
Man, you get that bready, nutty.
How corn harvesting works.
Okay.
So,
but
I cut it in a couple.
Suppose
of pieces,
it's possible.
Yeah,
like this.
I still.
This is pretty huge.
I would be interested to read if somebody has done any sort of study about.
We're gonna come back to it.
Residual corn in the soil flavoring tobacco.
Because man, it all starts in the soil.
Yeah, that's absolutely
100%.
Right.
Subtle,
that's absolutely right.
Nice.
Yeah, all of your flavor and all of your nutrients for your plant is certainly coming through the soil, carried by the water.
And now your connections in getting different tobaccos. Do you source these out? Do they come to you?
But it's a very nice tobacco.
So
Wessex.
I definitely don't have somebody being like, here, take this tobacco. But we do have relationships with tobacco dealers in a few different places in the world that are our resources for particular types of tobacco from those regions and areas. And so my relationships with those sources, they kind of know the sorts of things that we look for, the sorts of tobaccos that we want to buy. And they also kind of have an idea of our usage and how long a particular lot of tobacco might last us. And so I work with them to get samples of leaf as it comes available. And as we begin to prepare for, this is going to be running out, this particular crop that we're using from is going to be running out in the next year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
I want to start trying to find something to begin to start introducing to replace it so that replacement happens seamlessly.
Label.
And it's funny that you say that you're running out. You're going to have to replace.
Right
you're going to
now,
have to
I'm
replant.
off the smoke.
Now we all know that when you're
GLPs,
replanting something,
triple plate.
it's never going to be
Just-
exactly the
it
same
just
as the
smells
tobacco you have
incredibly
there. So
yummy.
why do people
Very
always want to look for that
fermented
unicorn
wine-ish
tobacco? It
flavor
was
I have.
better when I
know
was
that
in my
because I'm Italian, I make
30s.
wine. Right, so when
This
it
and
ferments, the
that.
whole bloody
It's not
house
the same
smells
now.
like a big
Look, man,
brewery.
I used to smoke
Winery.
McClellan, okay?
But
Just
anyways, I'm
by
gonna
by
start
chance,
rambling.
I found McClellan at my
very nice
tobacconist,
with this
and I never
Wessex.
saw any
Very
C&D,
nice.
by the way. But anyways, this was
Have a
many
good
years
one.
ago.
Till next time.
And so McClellan was out. Okay. I stopped smoking. I came back and I got into C&D and other GLPs and all of this. And these are fantastic tobaccos. What are people bitching about? Like, I got better tobaccos now than I've ever had ever.
Oh, thank you.
No, but I mean, no, I'm not trying to throw flowers at you, but I mean, all these
I
companies.
understand, but that's great to hear. That's really cool to hear you
Well,
say that.
what's the search for the unicorn and paying $500 for a Penzance?
Right. I don't know. I think that rarity breeds popularity.
It's okay. Yeah, it's a hype thing, man.
Yeah. But I also think that people grow accustomed to, like, when I started smoking a pipe, it was no big deal to be able to get Penzance. I wasn't, I didn't have to struggle for it. I didn't have to hunt all over for it. It was regularly available and it was easily affordable and it was good. And as it has become more and more rare, it has also become more and more popular and more elevated and praised. And so you had once a very good tobacco that was easy to get and nobody really seemed
thought about it being
it's like, oh, this is really good, and I've got a couple of 8-ounce packages and I've got a couple of 10s, and then production issues prevented them from being able to make the kinds of quantities that they wanted to, and demand started going up because the supply actually was dialing back. So I think this is just human nature. Like there's
like wine, man, just like wine.
Like think about gold. Why do we value it? Because it's certainly not actually valuable.
Yeah, I know. It's because we put a value on it because we're human beings and we're perfect. If you know what I'm being sarcastic.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's rare and it's super shiny.
Yeah. yeah. And I can't afford it. But anyways.
Right.
Now, all this. Oh, another thing. Sorry. Aging tobaccos.
Okay.
Now, when you started smoking, was there such a thing as aging your tobacco?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was. So I started smoking a pipe in like 2003, 2004, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Definitely by that point, there had been some folks. I mean, I don't think that the majority of pipe smokers are intentionally cellaring and aging their tobaccos. I think that there are more people doing that now than there were in 2003. I think there are more people doing it in 2003 than there were in, say, 1995. But I don't think that it's ever been like everyone understands and does this, that you buy types of tobaccos that have natural sugar content to them, high natural sugar, and you store them in a cool, dry place for a decade or more, and you are doing this intentionally because of the aging effects that will take place. I think that there are more people now who know about aging and who practice it than there used to be, but I don't think it's ever been a super predominant practice.
Okay, I mean, I do it out of influence because I see other people do it, and I just started buying some tobacco and cellaring it like 2 years ago, but that's not even worth opening it once if you're selling it 2 years after? Because
all right, so I'm gonna add something to that thought.
okay,
It just like, well, scratch that. Not just like anything. Just you have a fair amount of change that is going to take place with a particular blend
right.
in just 1 year in the 10.
So you're talking Virginias.
Yes. So if you've got a couple of years of age on a product, that might actually be a good time, particularly if you've got more than 110 from that age range. It might actually be a good time for you to open and see what's going on, to have a sense of what the overall journey actually is.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I mean, it'd be really great to have a bunch of tobacco that's like, say, 15 or 25 years old, but you're not really going to be able to appreciate what's happened in those 10, 15, 20, 25 years if you don't have a sense of what it tasted like at the beginning.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
And so I think it's actually cooler to like buy 2 10s when you buy something for the first time. Buy 2 10s, have one to squirrel away and one to smoke now. And then the next time, if you like the way that it tastes now, the next time that you go to buy 3 or 4 more and lay those down, and then come back to the one that you originally laid down from the first purchase and try it while these others continue to age. And you can kind of like build a cellar that way and interact with the overall process that cellaring allows to happen. So you can actually see like, oh, wow, I really like it at 10 to 15 years better than I do at 5 years. Or I actually prefer this blend, aged a little less.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Do you, obviously you must cellar yourself, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, are you at the point of, you just said you tried at different times of your life, of the life of the tobacco, because I know a lot of your more Virginia based blends, you say 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, that tends to be I think kind of a peak range for a lot of Virginias.
So does it go down after 15?
No, but I think that it is I think that past a certain point, you may not really be getting a whole lot of additional change.
Okay.
I think that microbial activity slows down as the oxygen in the 10 gets consumed. And so past a certain point, you're really like, comparing Granny Smith apples to slightly unripe Red Delicious apple.
Okay.
It might still be a little green. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let's say you don't have it in the tin, man. Let's say you have it in a jar like this.
Sure.
Like you can open it and let more air in. Will that give you more time with the tobacco? More maturation? Well,
it's actually better for fermentation. It is better for it to remain airtight.
Okay.
I'm just saying that as what little bit of oxygen is still there in the environment is consumed, the process gets slower and slower and slower as it goes on.
Okay.
So you're getting more and more incremental changes and less big transformative changes.
Okay.
So I think 10 to 15 years is a really great spot for a lot of Virginia blends for that reason.
Man, it's too bad because I don't think I'm going to live 15 years, Jeremy. So when you say that, it's like, oh, man, I got to smoke this now. type thing. Anyways,
You seem to be in good health to me.
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, your nose, your palate, your whole sinus cavity. I'm going to ask you a really ridiculous question, but it's not that ridiculous.
Okay.
Are you insured for that?
No, I'm not. I have life insurance, but no, that's an interesting thought.
I know it is, because that's your livelihood, man. You've grown to experience all these flavors, just like a sommelier, just like a chef, man. You've got the same for lack of a better word, things going to find those flavors, man. You know.
Mm.
So, what happens if you have a cold?
If I have a cold, I stay home, and I will wait until I'm over the cold. I've been very, very, very cautious with regards to COVID.
Yeah, man.
Because not only do I just not really want to get sick. I think that's most people, and I don't want to contribute to spreading it around to others. But I'm quite scared of the possible effect on my sense of smell and taste.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare, put the fear of COVID.
Oh, no. I don't mean you're scaring me. I mean the idea that that an infection could knock those things out.
Yeah, they say that COVID will knock your sense of smell out to some people, man.
Yep.
And so what happens? What happens with the alchemist Jeremy Reeves? What happens?
You know anybody who needs a good dishwasher?
Wow. How long you've been educating yourself in tobacco, in terms of being a chef, being a blender, if you can say. I find blender a little bit not good. More of an alchemist, a chef.
It's nice of you.
It's blending, you know what I mean? But anyways, how long you've been educating yourself? Is it a long process?
Yeah, and it was pretty much one done at my own expense and done out of my own personal enjoyment. There's not really a school for this exactly, but I really enjoyed cigars, and I thought it'd be cool to work in a cigar store, and so I got a job at a cigar store, and really just kind of dove in with both feet into everything that I could learn about tobacco, about cigars specifically, and from there, a friend of mine gave me my first pipe and introduced me to pipe tobacco. And so I started smoking pipe as well as cigars, and yeah, I just saw a blend I'd never had before and would buy a couple of tins, and got to try all sorts of things and got to meet all sorts of different kinds of people and learn a little bit about what they enjoyed and what they knew along the way. But yeah, all of this was basically just done out of being an overzealous hobbyist.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that show on Netflix? I think it was a few years back. It's a French show. It's called Somme. It's about the road of a sommelier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it takes 4 years. Every test is 4 years distanced apart, right? So you got to learn whatever. So Jeremy, these guys were able to tell, obviously, what grape it was. That was like a no-brainer. That's like telling the difference between a Latakia done tobacco and a Virginian. It's that easy for them. But then they would be able to tell you which country it's from, which, okay, not so bad. What region of the country it's from, what mountain it's from, and who the bloody vineyard guy is from. And I was like, what the hell? Like, can you do that?
No, but grapes and wine are a really, really different crop than tobacco. With a winery, they are growing specific kinds of grapes for their specific product,
Right.
or they are growing specific kinds of grapes, and somebody else is growing in another place on their behalf another specific kind of grape to be mixed together or whatever.
Right.
But tobacco is a more blended product.
Right.
So typically grades of leaf are different
On the plant.
positions on the plant
Right.
in different color variations. So one farmer may not have very much of a high color and high priming leaf.
Okay.
You need several farmers producing a full crop
Right.
to get enough of that high color, high priming leaf
To create a blend.
to create a blend.
Yeah.
So when I'm purchasing Old Belt deep red Virginias,
Right.
there are many farmers that have produced the product that those leaves have all been color sorted and priming sorted to end up in the same lot or grade.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I don't have the opportunity to be like, oh, well, that's Bob Smith. That's definitely his tobacco.
I got you.
Versus this is, Jim, whoever Jim is.
Right, I get you. So basically, you're saying being a wine sommelier is that easy compared to I'm joking.
No. I mean, I am definitely saying that, like, I cannot lay claim to any sort of sommelier training.
Yeah.
I am not that level of taster. I am not that level of person.
Well, I mean, you are the head blender, and your blends are fantastic. I love your blends, Jeremy. Seriously, I'm gushing here, but anyways, so. And I'm hyperactive, as you can see. So I jump from like the squirrel there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
I didn't want to mention the squirrel.
That's okay, man. It's okay. I've seen it about a few times. Anyways. So is there a place where you blenders get together, especially the Cornell and Deal, where you have Briarworks, you have GLPs, and I forget others.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever get together and sit down, smoke a pipe, and talk shop?
Well, so the Briarworks and Warped and Two Friends and Captain Earl's, those are all brands that Cornell and Deal manufacture.
Right.
But so, like in the case of Briarworks, I developed all those recipes. There is not a Briarworks blender.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Briarworks hires you and says, "Please give me 5 different whatever categories of tin, and what? Go for it."
They came to us with some ideas of styles of blends that they were interested in, and then I produced samples and sent back to them. What do you think of this? And basically that was the way that those blends were developed. And so there is no blender from Briarworks.
Okay, so how long does that take before the Briarworks proprietor says, "Yeah, we nailed it for this blend"?
It was so let's see. There's 6 of those blends.
I think so.
And we did the first 4 in, say, 3 or 4 months of getting together, talking about what the concepts were. And then I went away and started, kind of experimenting and putting stuff together and working on getting things together that I liked, and then sent those to them. And yeah, the whole process for the first 4 took about
Okay,
3 or 4 months.
And when it comes to, because you blend also for GLPs, and he is a blender like you.
He is a blender. So we keep Greg stocked with tobaccos that, like the tobaccos that we're using to make everything.
Right.
So that he knows the materials that he's got to work with.
Right.
And then his blend development is done using our materials.
Now on his line, GL. Oh no, it's true. You're the blender. I was going to say on his line, whatever. Scratch that. And what about does any blender or any manufacturer? When I'm going to say manufacturer, does any designer? There's a good word. Designer ever come to you with their own material and say, "Please use this"?
No.
Okay.
That has never happened.
Is that because why? It's not part of the deal, or it's just never happened?
So if Greg, as an example,
right,
had his own ability to store and process leaf, he would not need Cornell and Deal.
Well, it depends. Maybe he doesn't have the foundation, the equipment.
Right. I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
But even still, buying leaf and having any sort of real supply of it, you're going to need storage space, and you're going to, to justify the quantity of leaf that you really need to be able to
really,
you need space, you need storage. Like one box of tobacco is 440 pounds. And you're going to need thousands of pounds to be able to use over the course of years while you are transitioning from one crop or grade into the next crop or grade. And as your usage of one tapers up, the usage of the one previous is tapering down, so that you've got consistency year on year.
So how do you do that? How do you keep it consistent where you have a 400-pound bale of tobacco and it's actually fermenting as time is going on, and you're using this? The flavors are changing, man.
That's true. That's true. The flavors do change to a degree, but mostly with aerobic aging, like what is happening in a case or a box or a bale. Really, what the main thing that's happening is that you've got mellowing of the flavor, but you don't have fermentation taking place until there is moisture and until you've got it in an airtight environment.
Okay, so it's a controlled environment, so that stuff doesn't happen, right?
Right.
And I mean, you've got 220. Is it 220 Cornell and Deal blends? Forgetting GLPs, forgetting Briarworks.
Right. That's right.
So, like, what does your storage space look like? Like a Walmart? For God's sake, man, that's a huge amount of stuff you got to do, man.
Right. So we have a decent leaf storage area here on site, and then we have storage facilities that we rent from dealers, tobacco dealers,
right,
in a couple of different states.
Really, eh?
Yeah, so I mean, because we just simply don't have the room or the space for all of the tobacco.
Right. I've seen your videos of your place, and I was wondering, like, how does he do it, man?
Yeah.
And another question concerning that: how do you keep up with 220 plus other companies that you got? How do you keep up an inventory for me to go to whatever tobacconist and always have my canal boat? Let's say. How do you do that? Like,
So we don't do our own distribution. I mentioned before
La DC.
La DC distribution group.
Yeah.
So we basically have a live, ever updating purchase order from La DC distribution group.
Okay.
That shows us what they need restocks on and what stock levels those restock needs are currently at.
So okay. So that's a typical day at Cornell and Deal. Is that right? At your place, right? Law DC, I guess, is the first place you hit. In the morning, you wake up and it's email Law DC.
In the morning, production team is looking at what has popped up on the purchase order.
Right.
What sold yesterday down
Like,
to a
can you
stock
give me
level.
an example, Jeremy? Can you give me an example of like what's sold and what's coming in?
Sure. So the purchase order, may say like, oh yeah, you have dropped lower than necessary on autumn evening 2-ounce 10.
Right.
So we need to replenish stock on autumn evening 2-ounce 10s. Here's what we want. Here's the number of 2-ounce 10s that we want. And so, we're going to look and see, well, do we also need to make autumn evening 8-ounce? Do we also need to make autumn evening 16-ounce 10? Do we also need to make autumn evening bulk? We get together an idea of how much autumn evening we need to make. And then we overshoot that so that as those numbers may continue to dwindle on the shelf, we're making enough autumn evening to restock plus.
I got you. Now, you're doing autumn evening, but your press, let's say your autumn evening needs to be pressed, but your press is already occupied by some other tobacco you're going to do.
Sure.
What happens?
Well, we have lots of different presses, and those presses can hold, I don't know that we've ever quantified it, but probably in the neighborhood of 25 8-pound blocks of tobacco each. And those don't all have to be 8-pound blocks of one particular blend.
So, correct me. So once you have your pressed tobacco in there, you get another order that needs tobacco to be pressed. It's okay to unwind that, put your other tobacco and press it again?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
We put steel, like each blend that we make, we're going to weigh out roughly 8-pound portions, wrap it in paper, and
Right.
label it with the in date and the out date.
I got you. Okay.
And then we'll stack all of those of that particular blend. Let's say it's opening night.
Right.
Opening night will all be stacked together. Then we get, the next thing that we're making, maybe Sunset Harbor Flake.
Right.
So Sunset Harbor Flake can go into the same holding press.
Not at the same time. You can do it at a different time, right?
No, we can do it at the same time.
But that's what I was asking. What happens when that's pressed and your Law DC order comes in and you got to make canal boat?
Right. So canal boat doesn't need to be pressed.
Well, it's a crumble cake, right?
No, canal boat is a cube cut blend.
Oh man, okay, because I must have pressed it myself. Sorry.
Sorry, am I wrong?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to open up a new tin right now. I must, because I press my own tobacco, and that's something else I wanted to ask you. So it must have been in my jar pressed, and I thought it came as a crumble cake itself.
Ah, I see.
I might be wrong completely.
Yeah, no, Canal Boat is a cube cut burley blend with some Latakia and some sweetened black Cavendish.
I love it.
Um,
So yeah, going back to the pressings, you can.
Yeah, so let's say we've got some opening night in our holding press.
Yeah.
And then we need to put in some Sunset Harbor Flake.
Right.
So we raise the press.
I got you.
Put a steel plate on top of the opening night and
press it again.
The Sunset Harbor Flake on top and re-hit the press.
Okay.
In our press system, we just recently got this really, really cool update that one of the guys that works in production and manufacturing built for us. It's a pretty impressive setup. That basically it's on all of the presses are connected on a loop, and it goes through a 30-minute cycle where every 30 minutes the press will readjust and repress all the way down the line so that we don't physically have to do that.
Yeah, I get you.
Because for us, it's like every morning, you come in and you crank down all the presses and try and get any slack, kind of short up, and then try and remember that, maybe another couple of times during the day. But this does it every 30 minutes automatically, and nobody has to do that anymore.
That's a huge investment for C&D.
Yeah. But it's a huge time saver for us. And those kinds of little things were like just tightening 20 presses. That's 30 minutes.
Oh man, you got that many presses.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. Because when I saw on your video, I just saw 2 presses, really old presses, man.
Mm-hmm.
These are all new presses you got, or is the system connected to these old presses?
The system is connected to these
old presses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Jeremy, talking about pressing tobacco,
mm-hmm.
I got a blend. I forget what it was, and there was some black Cavendish in this blend. Okay, and it looked like a certain color, obviously, because it was like a ribbon cut. Then I put it into a 6-ton press that I have, just a little teensy-weensy press. When I took out the tobacco, it was black. Okay, probably because of the Cavendish, whatever. And they say that if you press a tobacco, it's supposed to marry better. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah, basically. So you've got this leaf that has cells that have oil and moisture in them. And you've got this leaf over here that have cells that have different kinds of oils and compounds and things in them. And when you compress them together, you're basically popping these things.
Right. So all the juices are mixing together.
Exactly.
But now the thing is that I smoked that blend, and all I tasted was Cavendish now. And before, it being a ribbon cut, it was just like the Cavendish was. It was there. For sure, predominantly there. But now it's like, holy cow, all I'm smoking is Cavendish. I don't taste the other blends, man.
What other tobaccos were in the blend?
There was Virginias, there was Red Virginias, and there was Burleys.
Okay. Do you think that the majority of what blend was it?
You know what? I forgot, man. But it was... I don't know. It was a Lane tobacco. I forgot, Jeremy. Sorry.
But that's all right. I'm just trying to think of like what. Typically, Black Cavendish is a pretty nondescript flavor unless it has a flavor added to it.
It must have been that. And
but if it's a vanilla flavored Cavendish or something, and then you press that, it doesn't surprise me that flavor is going to kind of cut, especially Virginias and Burleys are both on their own pretty subtle sort of taste.
So they're going to suck up all that juice.
Yeah. Yep.
So is there a certain type of tobacco should I press my own tobacco? Should I not press tobacco?
I think that experimentation is one of the primary reasons that pipe smoking is so much fun. I think that if you are interested in pressing and seeing what pressing can do to a blend, that the best way for you to be able to do that is to do it as a home experiment, because most people don't ever have the opportunity to work for a pipe tobacco manufacturer.
Obviously. And what about for cellaring? Is pressing a tobacco before cellaring, you press it? Is there more of other than that Black Cavendish with all that goo in it? Is that a way to preserve it?
Um, Originally, that is kind of where the idea of pressing came
Right.
from. Is sailors going on long ship voyages, and if your tobacco was just a loose ribbon mixture, and you've got no way to store it in an airtight uh, compartment or something,
Right.
it's just going to dry out. But if you press it into a dense brick like a plug,
Right.
then you can just slice off what you need, and you can slice it really thin if you're smoking cigarettes,
Right.
or if you prefer a shag cut in your pipe, you can slice it a little thicker and smoke it in your pipe as a flake. You could cut off a chunk of it and just chew it, but the compression was really done more to preserve moisture and flavor of the tobacco than anything else.
Right.
But as we talked before about anaerobic fermentation, think about the environment inside that plug. Most of the air has been removed by pressing it.
That's right.
And so you've got, starting in the middle of this chunk of tobacco, this fermentation that starts in the middle and works its way towards the outside.
Right.
So that is going to be a very, very long, slow process. And if you took the exact same tobaccos and made a blend of the exact same proportions ribbon cut,
Right.
and so you've got your plug version,
Yeah.
you've got your ribbon cut version, age those both for 5 years, and you're going to
Totally
have
different.
two totally different things. So is there value in pressing your tobacco before you age it? Absolutely. Is there value in not doing so before you age it? Absolutely.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's good. And hey, let me bust your chops with one last question, because I know you're a busy guy. You don't just smoke C&D stuff. You don't just smoke what's around you, or do you smoke what's around you out of convenience, or do you go and seek out a certain tobacco that you like?
Sure. All of the above.
Okay.
So I do smoke other tobaccos that are not produced by C&D.
Right.
The vast majority of my smoking is work related these
Yes.
days,
Yeah.
and is C&D tobacco. I have to smoke what I'm blending with. I have to smoke the blend that I'm in development on, and I have to revisit different stages of the blend and different versions of the blend several times. And so I don't end up smoking at home on the weekends very often these days.
Really, eh? So how much do you smoke, Jeremy, in terms of bowls per day? Per day.
Per day,
Yeah.
I limit myself to 2 pipes or 2 cigars a day. I do not mix cigar and pipe days.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think I smoke too much.
Everybody to their own. But I began finding that I couldn't trust my palate by the end of the day.
What, it would numb out? It would numb out your tongue, your taste
Yes.
buds and stuff like that, huh?
Yep. And
Yeah.
so I feel more assured that what I am experiencing is accurate when I smoke in moderation, and when I'm intentional about the time of day that I do it, and when I'm intentional about what I have done taste wise beforehand.
Okay.
So yeah, every morning I will smoke, like if I'm in blend development, every morning I will smoke a bowl of something that I'm trying, and then after lunch and kind of hydrating again, then I'll smoke again.
Okay, you just said hydrated. So drinking a lot of water
Mm-hmm.
is a necessary thing in your craft.
Absolutely. I also use club soda if I need like a palate cleanser, because you remember the old bathroom cleaner commercial with the scrubbing bubbles.
Yeah.
But club soda does that to the oils and build up on your palate. It basically breaks that stuff up.
And when you say you smoke a bowl, are you smoking like a clay pipe small bowl, or are you smoking a bowl, a regular pipe, briar?
Right. I use clay pipes, I use briar pipes, and I use corncob pipes when I'm doing certain kinds of tasting. I use clay pipes when I am comparing components.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I use primarily briar and corncob when I'm developing blends. The reason being
the same blend, you would use a briar, you would use a corncob to see the difference.
Right. Basically, I want to experience what the customer is going to experience, and most customers are going to be smoking in either briar or in corncob.
Right. Well, Jeremy, I got like a billion more questions. I hope we can do this again. Man, if I was there, I'd give you a big kiss, because that's what Italians do. And I really appreciate your time. I know how much work you got to do, man. And, thank you very much, man. Thanks for everything, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been a blast.
That's it.
Cool.
Oh, man, I got so many questions. But anyways, okay. Jeremy, thank you very much. I'm going to put this together. As I said, I'm starting up this pipe channel. I'm very confident in doing the channel, whether I'm going to have a lot of subscribers or not. But it seems that a guy like Bradley, he's got like 40,000 subscribers. Who gives a shit about pipe that much? 40,000, and Mutton Chops got 68,000. He not eat. Anyways, I'm blown away. So I should be getting a fair amount of traffic, man.
Very good.
Yeah. And with that said, there was a segue to that. Jeremy, who do I speak to about sponsorship or ads in Cornell and Deal? Because I know now you got Law DC, but Law DC, they're the mobsters. They don't want to have nothing to do with us, with me. But Smoking Pipes is interconnected with Cornell and Deal. Is there an interest in something like that, Jeremy, in all honesty?
Well, I'm not sure. I'll do some asking around and see if we would be willing to do some sort of sponsorship. But
instead of sponsorship, what about ads? So you're not sponsoring a channel. You're just using your ad when your ad is there.
Sure. Yeah, would we need to... Now, are you trying to monetize this?
No. What I do on my other channel is I create the ads for, let's say, C&D, like the ad I just created for you, and say, hey, look, I put in the time to do this ad. You don't even have to do the ad, that depending if you like the ad.
Right.
And do you want to put it on this show for, because I think I'm going to do this show right now once a month, and I'm going to have an interview, and I'm going to have pipe showcasing and all that, fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, like, I don't know, man, you guys want to do this at $200 or something.
Okay. Let me talk to our marketing team and see what they think, see if they want to make ads for this or yeah. What?
Yeah, because if it's a sponsor thing, then how am I going to talk about McBaron?
Right. No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm shooting myself in the head. So yeah, if you guys give me $1 million a month, yeah, no problem. Smoking Pipes, Cornell and Deal, let's go.
Well, I don't think we're in a position to do that.
I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah, let me do some asking around, and I'll keep you in the loop, Dan.
Hey, thank you very much. You're a sweetheart of a guy, man. I thought you were a hell of a biker, but
no, I drive a Nissan Sentra.
Holy! You just broke my iconic. Anyways, Jeremy, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
And this is on a side note. This is discrimination number 1 against me personally. Now, if you look at the door, obviously there's the instructions, but then there's that little thing over there. That's the little thing. Like, I'm standing up, and that's the keyhole. Now, how is this possible? How's this possible? Someone knocks on the door? Huh? I open the door, I get shot. I'm dead. Goodbye.
In my other life, I used to do videos, like 3-minute videos, for a board game channel, a huge board game channel, probably the biggest board game channel in the world, called The Dice Tower. Yeah, I smoke pipes and a lot of tobacco. Lots of. I should calm down. And I love making videos. And I love playing board games. Well, my good friends would say I don't play any board games, but I love collecting board games and romanticizing about how to play board games. So I'm gonna throw in this little snippet. Okay? Hey du, Aufmerksamkeit! What? Entschuldigung! What? Raus! Schnell! Achtung, Idioten! Oh, God, shut up! Well, if you were a German prisoner of war in World War I, you would have heard that. Check this out. But before we get into check this out, you know, if you're into smelly, wet, rat-infested, dead bodies all over the place, rotting, gas bombs being thrown at you, and just miserable, and the first mechanized war, well, this game is for you. Trench Club, right now on Kickstarter, right now, by good guy Philip Berger. And what is a trench club? Well, it's a club that they put together in a trench, and they used to hack away your enemies. Don't get all sickened by this by saying, "Ooh, how dare he?" Hey, look, people play Eldritch horror and all that, and it's the things, the Cthulhu things. I mean, they look ugly, like my ex-wife, and they eat people. What do you want me to tell you? So this game is a World War I strategic, actually I should say tactical, non-scenario based game. So basically, you just choose your players where you want to put them, secretly that is, and then you go! It's fun. Philip thought about a fun game, not bogged down by rules, but just by going to get at the other guy. So let me tell you a little bit of what you get in this game. First of all, it's a miniatures game, right? And you get things like an artillery gun called the Big Bertha. An artillery gun, it's like a big cannon. And then, you know, bang, whatever. And you should see the size of the shells. And then you get the machine gun. This is the first time the machine gun was used. I guess that's where Hamburger came out. But anyways, then you get tanks. The first tanks ever. I mean, come on. There was like 8 guys in this smelly tank, and it was a diesel engine inside, and it was loud, and oh my God, and it went 3 miles an hour. Hey, you know, I'm just trying to make you feel what it's like to be in a really grungy situation, and it's like, oh God. Great game. I'm backing it. I can't wait to play it. Immerse yourself. Well, that's my first show. You know what? I wanted to make it with different, what can I tell you, different segments in mind, so it keeps you entertained a little bit, you know, while you're having a pipe and you're having a good time, you know. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. And I just received GLP's a 6 pence. Oh man, does it smell yummy! Yummy! And oh, it's just wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, I took it out and I already put it in a jar. But after this segment, I'm going to go have myself a smoke. And I can't wait. It's just a little bit wet, so I'm letting it dry, you know? But I'm telling you, this is produced by Cornell and Deal. Obviously, designed with Mr. Peas by Jeremy Reeves. The guy Jeremy Reeves, this guy Jeremy Reeves, this guy's a monster. You know, he's mild and timid and everything. He's gonna take over the world! Anyways, people, guys and gals, yeah, I'm unhinged and over the top. I hope you like it. If you don't, I'm not gonna change. This is who I am. And remember, I'm Canadian, I'm cute, short and fuzzy, right? So, again, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be putting these out once a month, so it gives me enough time to search out the interweb and look for interesting videos in terms of tobaccos and pipes and tobacco-related stuff. You know, sometimes I might have some cigars or cigars, and I mean, sometimes I'm going to have some snuff or some snooze, whatever you might call it. People, I will see you next month. Have a good month.
Don't build something out of broken pieces. You'll hurt yourself when it falls down. Loosely lacing fingers began to snap. Now our red string couldn't be more detached. Who are you, defying laws? When I crumbled, you stayed strong. Don't point fingers at me. I don't decide